we're back with Realms of Tolkien Images of Middle-earth. Let's get back to where we left off. Ted Nasmith does it again. Here we have Mordor, across Gorgoth, or the plains of Gorgoth. Something that Ted Nasmith does better than maybe any of these artists is he makes these unreal places feel real. He has such an uncanny ability of rendering, of painting a place, a fictional place, something, a fantastical place like Mordor, and making it seem like he went there and studied it, took pictures, and came back and painted this. Because it just feels so real. He must have looked at photos or video or whatever of volcanoes and gotten that right, and volcanic area to see like all these like steam vents coming up, like all this rock and everything. It just looks amazing. And in the middle of it all, we have our poor hobbits here struggling to get across, and a looming golem. Just all of that in one image. Yeah, one of those masters, one of those kind of golden age of Tolkien illustration masters. It's Ted Nasmith. Here we have Edda Musikad doing Treebeard, Merry, and Pippin in Treebeard's house. And I gotta say, I love how this Treebeard is. He looks like a living palm tree or something. Not much tree beard, I would say, but definitely tree. He's definitely a tree man, and that I thank Edda for. And he's making them magic drinks and stuff. Like it's such a lovely, like fun and fantastical image. I really appreciate how much of a tree he is. He's a tree on his hands and stuff too. Good stuff. All right, this is a great piece here. This is just masterful. This is John Howe again, and doing Gandalf coming to Hobbiton. This is I guess it's, the text is from an earlier version of Lord of the Rings, but this is essentially Fellowship, and this is cinematic Gandalf, without a doubt. I do like how plain his staff is, but I really, it's just is he's got the hat, he's got the cape, he's got the sword under there. This is like definitive iconic Gandalf and definitive iconic Bag End. I'm so, whenever I look at a John Howe illustration, I'm so absorbed in like his character design and costuming and all that stuff, and even like how he renders the design of the sets and such, is that it's just a great painting. And like, look at this amazing tree above Bag End, just incredible, and just what a great layout for this painting. Just absolutely impressive. Great little fence here. But yeah, it's the definitive Gandalf. I can't think of a Gandalf that sits so prominently in my head that when I reread any of Tolkien's works that involve Gandalf the Grey, that's who I see. It's no offense to Ian McKellen, who is amazing and is the perfect Gandalf in live action, but when I'm reading, I'm seeing John Howe's Gandalf. From great artist to great artist, here we have Alan Lee doing The Taming of Smeagol, when Gollum reveals himself to the poor beset Frodo and Sam, and what a great scene to illustrate. just this mass of legs and arms. Poor Sam looks like he's about to be killed, and Frodo here coming to his rescue. And what a cool, just gross and creaturey Gollum. Like he looks like a subterranean creature that still has like a human form. Yeah, and these big lantern eyes. And I love that in the foreground we have like this water here that's sitting among these rocks, and we have the reflection of a crescent moon. Like just to add some atmosphere. Because yeah, he's got all the action up here, but he still is using this as another focal point. Yeah. Amazing composition. And also just love the colors, the pale colors. All right, everybody, relax. The action started. This is Theoden's charge at Helm's Deep by Timothy Ide, and boy, something that I just think this is an amazing rendering. Like, look at the illustration on this. Such fine lines, but what I also find fascinating is these Uruk-hai. They're looking pretty human here, or like a monstrous human, and I think I appreciate that it's taking the characters or the creatures and definitely giving them some humanities, because they're acting like humans, they're going to war like humans. But yeah, like look at all these spears, and then of course Theoden here. And I gotta say the designs and such for the horsemen, for Theoden, for Rohan, tend to be pretty consistent. All the horse motifs, and this was very kind of Norse influence on like the armor and the weapons and such. It's very cool. And I love that it's pretty consistent across many artists. And a gorgeous little like pennant flag here. But just, yeah, look at all those lines, man. Helm's Deep here behind them. And of course the white hand of Saruman. I love this thing, whatever this is. This little like pole that's got the hand on there. Just really cool stuff. And yeah, these guys are losing their shit over Theoden charging. Just great stuff. And all these like metal studs, and that chainmail looks amazing. Yeah, and Theoden's looking pretty badass. Yeah, this is a great rendering. I love it. Yeah, filling that page. So here we have Lode Klaus again, with the Mirror of Galadriel. He did that awesome rendering of the Nazgul, where they're just kind of silhouettes on a hill. And here we have that similar kind of iconic energy in this rendering, with our hobbits here, Galadriel above her mirror. And yeah, it's a nice rendering. I'm trying to figure out the material on it. Like, it looks like it could be, I don't know, like colored pencil. It's like fine lines, but there's such a great texture to it. I gotta wonder what it's on. Maybe it's on like a canvas. I don't know. But yeah, it's just really lovely. I love that even star up there in the sky. Houndley back with Theoden's Hall. Yeah, Edoras. And yeah, that's, yeah, just one. Love these borders. And if you got a border on your illustration, it's gonna give it some points for me. I love that kind of stuff. But also, I just love all this topography, this kind of breaking down, like maybe like irrigation ditches or something for farming out here. The burial halls of their kings leading up to the entrance, and then the homes, and then topping off with the big golden hall. It's got everything, and it's also got just so much atmosphere to add upon that. Yeah, and I can almost picture the kind of black and white graphite rendering that was I'm sure in existence before this painting was done. But yeah, just just awesome, just awesome. I'm super inspired by the works of Tolkien, and if you don't believe me, you can check out my comic, Sidequesters. And even if it doesn't initially look like it's inspired by the artistry that Tolkien brought to his work, I can tell you that I'm as inspired as I can be in crafting a believable world that has a deep history with characters with rich connections to not only their world but each other. And it is absolutely my intent to tell a story that is as deep as I possibly can make it, that also features a giant lizard man with a big golden hammer. So, if you're interested, this is the first complete story arc, first 8 issues in a single volume. You can buy it on my website. And I also, to add on to the world, just like Tolkien has in multiple ways, here are short stories in my Haxan anthologies of stories of magic users that are mostly on the dark and kind of creepy side. Each of these is 60 pages of short stories, and you can buy them on my website as well. So, and if you just want to give them a read, check them out on Global Comics. So here we have Gandalf approaching Minas Tirith with Pippin, but this is Gandalf the White. So this is John Howe again, but this is him doing his Gandalf the White. And I just, yeah, what a powerful choice, because I mean he's having an action scene, but the action's running away from you, and we get just the hint of Minas Tirith to come, and I just think that's such an awesome choice for a painting, because yeah, with a painting, yeah, you think like, oh, I want to see the face of the character, I want to, to be prominent, but no, he's put the action ahead of them, and I just, yeah, that's such a bold choice. Also, yeah, of course, great costuming here on Gandalf the White. I think Gandalf the White could have used a hat in the films. Honestly, I love a wizard hat. Oh boy, here we have Nicholas Beiranki doing his best great goblin here from The Hobbit. And I mean, the word goblin is so vague and nebulous as far as like what you can render it as. And I just think this one's really interesting. He's both very human like, but also not human. Like, his kind of crazy ears and proportions. I love this little skull on the top of his little scepter here, and I like this kind of like one strap, like kind of armor like tunic, but also, yeah, that big old gut and the skull motifs. Yeah, it's a fun character design. He looks very regal, like he's the king of goblins or something. Here we have Capucini Mazzillo. I mean, I might be butchering these names, and I apologize. But here we have another Hobbit rendering of the House of Beorn. We have Beorn here. Beorn's another character I feel like I want to see more illustrations of, like a lot of in this early period. And here we have many of the dwarves. We have our Gandalf, and we have our Bilbo, and all of Beorn's animals. It's just this. It's a very fun, sweet illustration, and it makes me think that I'm guessing that Capucini, or it was a he did an illustrated, or they did an illustrated version of The Hobbit at some point. Yeah, very pointed caps for these dwarves. Man, here we have an action scene by Ted Nasmith. So I was just singing the praises of Ted Nasmith's scenery and locations, but this is an action scene and some amazing character design, and we have, the Nazgul, the ring race. We have the Witch King here and his Morgul blade that he's about to stab Frodo with. They have Frodo with Sting, and I like how Sting's glowing kind of red and hot instead of blue, because they're not orcs, but they're still evil, and it's still like warning him. And he's also wearing the One Ring, and he's invisible. And I love this partial invisibility. You can sort of see the edge of his leg behind him, and the kind of purpleness of it. This is such a cool image, and I love the posing of him. This is a really cool design for the sword, and for his like helmet and his face and everything. And yeah, and I love that. Yeah, we can see what they look like under their cloaks, because he's, in their realm, and with the ring. It's just, yeah, absolutely like a showstopper image for sure. It's just so cool. All right, here we have Inger Edelfelt, and this is Gollum held captive by the elves. I'm guessing this is before the enemy gets him, and we have Gandalf checking up on that, and the elves being just real playful with having this poor guy on a chain, and yeah, it's real sad. And yeah, it's a really gorgeous illustration. Again, look at these awesome borders. These trees are something else, and there's some really cool costuming going on here. It's very distinct for the elves, and yeah, a really cool rendition of Gandalf. He's got again, a very simple staff, but I still think it's still good as a prop. And I like how he's got a blue hat. I mean, most of the time his hat's like a little different colored than the rest of them. Yeah, I do like his blue hat. Yeah, just what a gorgeous. And yeah, I like how sad and pathetic we have Gollum there. Yeah, looks like this is 96. There we go. Another Michael Kaluta. Here we go. The first stroke of lightning at Helm's Deep. Man, I wish I had a bigger version of this. Just these Uruk-hai, these extreme postures. Fucking looks like Conan the Barbarian up here. Yeah, I really love this. I really love that it's, they're more human but still villainous. They're like, the costuming is just awesome and dramatic, operatic, I would say. And yeah, Helm's Deep. Helm's Deep, I feel like it was described so well that most renderings of Helm's Deep are pretty consistent, or at least you can tell what it is. Yeah, love this guy. This is awesome. Yeah, another great Michael Kaluta piece. Yeah, that's a wraparound cover for Two Towers if I didn't see one. It's amazing. And we're back to the Dead Marshes, this time with Alan Lee. And I love these subtle faces here. The dead. I mean, it's a gorgeous watercolor, my friends. And it's eerie. And it feels real. That's what you want it to be. Here we go. Holy cow. What do we got here? This is Shelob and Sam. So we have poor Frodo just caught off guard, or caught and literally caught there. And here we have Sam picking up the slack. And he's going to go toe-to-toe with this terrifying looking spider. This is Tony Galudi. And this is a terrifying Shelob. Like her head has legs. Like, look at this thing. It's drooling. It's and it's just that is horrifying. And the land looks like a spider. Like, it's great. Yeah, what a terrifying vision of this thing. And that this little guy's got to fight him. wonderful. Yeah, that's the biggest Shelob I think I've seen. And here we have Timothy-eyed here, tree bird and the Ents. This is a tree beard right here. Look at this tree beard, everybody. And I love all these other Ents here. What's it look like old men? And that's just interesting, is like the treeness of them sort of comes through, like, you know, of course, in like the kind of vininess of the beer, but they just kind of look like sort of tree themed giants. This guy's got more tree like hands and stuff, you know, and this one has like little berries growing. And yeah, Timothy-eyed, you know, and then, you know, we have, you know, Merry and Pippin here. Yeah, it's, and like the line work is impressive and even like intimidating, frankly. Yeah, but I also, it's something interesting. Yeah, he's got a fro, a tree fro. But yeah, I'm always interested in that. Like there's many artists that don't kind of take the vision of it's like a living tree. It's like a tree person, and they kind of downplay the treeness of it, which not everybody does, but yeah, there's something not fully tree-y about it, but it's still a gorgeous, gorgeous illustration. That is all for this edition of Realms of Tolkien. Please check back later when we continue our journey through these images of Middle-earth.